is what we're left with, and that's how Group A looks with one match day left to go. They almost had the grandstand finish as well, the finish that Gareth Bale would have, I'm sure, have been dying for, denied by the width of a post. Galatasaray and Club Brugge, or Club Brugge, if you prefer, that finished 1-1 earlier on, and that draw sent Real Madrid through before the start of the match. Vinny, it was a game that had pretty much everything.
Yeah, it had everything. It had 4 goals, a big VAR decision, and almost feel sorry for Gareth Bale. I wish he had scored there just to finish it off. We also had just some wonderful passage of play by Madrid, and it just shows you these top coaches. Zidane has really learned from the first game. He fixed it. Valverde came in and gave them real energy, and they were by far the better side, but you must give credit to Paris Saint-Germain. They stuck at it, and they took their chances when they came, and they were always thereabouts when they counter-attack. So it's been a really good night and very enjoyable game.
Yeah, let's get stuck in, Liam, to the goals, and we're going to look at Benzema's goal after 79, which made it 2-0, and at that stage, they'd had 27 scoring attempts, Real Madrid.
Yeah, he played really well, Benzema. He led the line well, and as Ray Houghton said, his work rate was tremendous. But to have a look at the PSG central defender Kimpembe on this, Dara. You know, he goes out to face Modric. Modric comes inside, moves the ball over to the left, and Kimpembe doesn't show any kind of inclination to get back in his position. And it's an easy header for Benzema. He you know, don't take nothing away from him. He took up his position well, and he tucked it away well. But, you know, if you're asking me about PSG being contenders, when you see things like that, you would have to say no. You would have to say no. That was sheer laziness from the central defender. Because
this is the criticism that faces them every spring routinely as they go out of this competition, that they're not a proper team, that phrase, but... You know, well, I wasn't impressed with them tonight. I know they did well, as Vinny said, to come back. They were 2-0 down, but I think Real Madrid switched off, and they got that goal to bring them back in the game, and then they started to play, and then they started to believe in themselves. But up to then, I wasn't that impressed. OK, Kevin, this is the goal, the Mbappe goal that brought them back into it 2 minutes after Benzema made it 2-0.
Game should have been over. Madrid still celebrating. We were watching the replays. I don't know where Marcelo is. Ramos gets totally dragged out of position. It's a decent ball across from Munier, but Courtois and Varane one of them has to go for it. We don't know who shouted. Maybe Courtois shouted. Varane should have booted clear. If he's not sure, just get rid of it. You know, Courtois should look sharper. He looks slow off his line tonight. He was sluggish. You know, in the VAR decision, it would have been a penalty if it hadn't been called further back. You know, he hasn't been great since he's gone to Madrid, and this is another night where he hasn't convinced. But that's got PSG giving him a lifeline, and all of a sudden they came alive, and they could have won it as well.
It's an odd one as well when you look at the amount of brilliant saves that Navas, their old goalkeeper, made, and they've Courtois, who it's just not been brilliant since he went there.
No, he just looks, I don't know, he was slow off his line tonight. His kicking wasn't great. Every time the ball goes back to him, he was fine with it. He was getting rid, but you're nervous looking at him, nervous for him. Navas was man of the match up to that point for PSG. He was making saves all over the place. But they spent a lot of money on Courtois, and they have to stick with him. OK, the equaliser after 83 minutes, Vinny. This is Sarabia's goal.
Yeah, at this stage, I think Valverde had gone off, and as much as Modric gives you loads, I think they lacked a little bit of energy again in midfield. But it's good play, and you know, it's a very composed finish. A lot of players would snatch at that chance. Really, really good finish. Just controlled, took his time. Slots at home, and it was a really good finish. He started in the first game, probably felt should have been in the team, and he's come on and got them a point, and ultimately top of the group, and that puts him in a strong position going into the next round.
What did you think of Neymar when he came on? The match fitness is an issue, sure.
Yeah, I think the problem with Neymar is that it's the rest of the team. When you look at this team, I think the coach has really got them working hard. He's got them pressing the ball up high, and this lad comes on, he walks around, and then when they went 2-2, he showed a little bit of brilliance at times, and he shows you what he has. But you at this level, you can't carry anybody. You can't carry players going to Real Madrid when they're in such good form. And ultimately, he carried them in that second half for long periods. But again, he's got that bit of magic at times, and he's unlucky with the first shot for the second goal. So he is that problem. He's that problem child that most teams that he goes to these teams, and he's a problem child. I just don't know. I don't know how you fix that. But most teams would want him in their team around the world. That's the bottom line. So he is a headache.
Yeah, sure, okay. Talking of being unlucky, Kevin, will you describe what happened here? Another substitute, Gareth Bale, and this free kick at the end, right at the death.
I know, yeah. You know, he didn't look the sharpest when he came on. He got caught in his heels a few times. But to have the confidence, I suppose, under a lot of pressure in recent weeks, he was getting jeered when he came on. The last kick of the game, to step up, knowing that if he skies it, he's going to get more abuse and more jeers. You know, he's jumping in the air.
That shows his character.
Yeah, you know, he's strength and character.
Good character.
And you see his teammates as well. At the final whistle came up and they were high-fiving him, you know, congratulating him and wanting him to do well. So they obviously still like him in the dressing room, and I just would have liked to see his celebration there if he'd have scored.
Yeah, because that's one of the things we've heard thrown around about Gareth Bale, that you know, he has had support from Courtois, he's had support from Butragueño, who's one of the sporting directors there, from Zidane. You know, that he wasn't that popular in the dressing room. We didn't see that tonight, did we?
Well, you know what the newspaper is like in Madrid. Marcos, it's you know, they just invent stories every single day, and perhaps that's not quite true. Well, I thought the crowd gave him a good reception when he came on this evening. He didn't do as well as he can, as Kevin says, but it's difficult to come into a game. But I think that showed his character to take the ball and say, like, I want to take this on. Because a lot of players would have said, I was booed last week.
Let Cruz take it or whatever, yeah.
Because it's very easy to hit the wall, or it's very easy to knock the ball over the bar, and then all of a sudden you've got 80,000 people maybe whistling at you. So I think it showed his character. He's a top player.
We started this evening wondering about these two as potential winners. So after what we've seen this evening, what's your view now, Vinny?
I think both have flaws. I mean, for Madrid to give away that 2-goal lead tells you there's flaws in the top games. I think the ones who'll probably learn the most tonight is, again, I spoke about good coaches. Zidane is starting to fix this Real Madrid team. You've seen some of it tonight, and he came up with a formation that made them, you know, at times they were standing tonight. So the challenge now is for Tuchel to say, when he goes into the last 16, can he learn from tonight? Can he get this team over the line? Because they're going to have to play a couple of big games. Winning the group means the next game is probably that little bit easier. But by quarter-final time, if they're there, they've got to go to a big club like Madrid and win. And that's where they've got to be better than they were tonight. As much as they've got some wonderful players, they've got to be more of a team.
What do you think of them, Ian?
Yeah, I would agree with Vinny. You've got to be more of a team. I highlighted the centre-back. I thought that was dreadful. I think both teams defensively have their problems. Marcelo's tremendous going forward. Like, he made Benzema's goal with a beautiful cross. But when he's defending, he's just a liability. Goalkeeper, as Kevin pointed out, from Madrid, weakness. So I think either team, not potential winners, but could go semi-finals.
Okay.